Hello everyone, I'm Jibu. I'm one of the two developers behind the roll20 products for Earthdawn with Chris that has started this adventure a few years ago, creating a character sheet character sheet on an API. And I have joined him during the pandemics, and we kind of revamped the whole product, and then we something like 2 years ago, we approached FASA and we proposed to develop a compendium. I'll explain what is character sheet and API and compendium. But I've been asked on the FASA Discord if there could be some tutorial videos to explain better these products. So here I am trying to explain you a bit better how to use and play Roll20, play Earthdawn on Roll20. I'd like to start with a small demo that will explain you a bit what I was telling about. What is a character sheet, the API, and the compendium. And for this, well, you hear from the accent, I'm French. You see the text in French, so I paired on my French. And I'll start from my home game, where one of our last encounters, my group of adventurers met with a dragon. And I won't show you the combat with the dragon, but I'll first illustrate the character sheet. The character sheet is like its name says, it's a character sheet where you can see if here I open the group's warrior. It's a bit long to load sometime, but you have here your usual of everything you need to know about your character with all its attributes, talents, and so on. The compendium that you can find here is actually a full copy of the books, but that is in a format that Roll20 understands. So for example, if in the compendium here, I navigate the creators, as a GM, I could just drop an ape on the map and everything that is in the books about an ape is now a new character, and this new character ape is on the map and ready to go. So this is a compendium. This is basically a copy of the content of the books. Now, if I watch what the API is, well, the API is a program that runs in the background that will bring automation. So the API is creating a bunch of buttons here so that you can trigger your actions without entering into the sheet. And for example, the API is able to make a synchronization between your sheet and your token. The token is what you have, the graphics you have in the map. So now I could just put on the token a marker that I'm in aggressive attack, and the sheet will know that I'm in aggressive attack and apply the modifiers. If I reopen the sheet, I should not have closed it. You can see here that I'm in aggressive attack, and you can see my -3 to defenses, +3 to attack, +3 to damage, and you can see all your talents have the modifiers that apply. So the API is making this synchronization and will give you advanced functions. So if we now go and we roll the init of our ape, the API is in charge of making the rolls. If I roll for my warrior, it's Tiger Dance, a combination of Tiger Spring and Air Dance. Same, it will record. It will even record the strain. You see that now on the bars above here, I have some strain. I have one less karma. That's because I decided to roll with karma. And if my warrior, my circle 8 warrior, is closing on his poor ape, I could just attack it with my melee weapons. I'll come to this more in detail later, but I can roll, make one extra success, decide that one extra success would go to my damage, roll my crushing blow, and roll my damage with karma. And this poor ape now gets 32 damage, and I could say, yes, please apply my 32 damage to my ape, and my ape is already unconscious. The API is a program behind that not only makes the roll, but makes all this sequencing on offering you options like applying the damage, tracking the karma on Swain, and so on. What I would like today to explain you, I intend to make 3 videos to make a tutorial. This video today is about setting up the game so that you can, as a GM, you want to start a campaign, you want to make the basic setting, you want to install our products. There will be a second video for the players on how to create their character, on how to make the basic evolution, how to make rolls. And there will be a third video more for the GMs about creators and counters, how to run this efficiently. So I'll now exit this game where everything is already set up and just give you some basics inside Roll20. So as I told, there are 3 components. There is a sheet that is for free and you can install on any game. There is an API, the program that runs into the background, and if you look, just I have to go to my account and subscription. So APIs is a functionality from Roll20 that is for pro accounts. So if you don't have a pro account, you don't have access to the API module, you will still be able to roll you will still have the dice rolling, but you will lose some of the advanced automation. And the compendium, where you have all the data from the books, is in the marketplace. It's in the marketplace. You can basically find the books, and you should find all the books. Yes, here they are. So you can find all the books, well, the books that are rule books. We didn't convert the books that are more about just lore. And so you can buy here the books at the same price as the PDFs. I know that some people don't like to have to rebuy the books. You have the full content of the books under Roll20. So you could have them instead of the PDFs. And here there is a first thing that is important that is useful for installation is this token marker set. This is something that you can install for free. You saw earlier that I was just applying this graphics to the token and it was setting the aggressive attack. So the first thing you want to do is to purchase this set that is for free so that you will be able to use it on your games. So we will start up by the configuration where you don't have a pro account. So we will start up by creating a new game. And if you don't have a pro account, you will see this is very, very straightforward. So you will create a new game that we will call Earthdawn Demo, and you just have to pick your character sheet here as Earthdawn. You have to take the Earthdawn by FASA. The other one is another one that we don't support anymore. And I'm ready to create my game. So now you have a game that is ready for use. Just a little going through the settings. This is the usual Roll20 settings for a game. Here you can, in content sharing, set your compendium system. By default, it will take Earthdawn if you have it. And here you have a bunch of parameters that will apply to every character you create. For example, you can have use all talents to advance the optional rule. You could decide that you have it on your campaign, so you could enable it for all future characters that are created in the game. So now this game is ready in the no API mode, and if I just go here, I could just create a character, and you see that when I create the character, I have my character sheet opening. It opens on the release notes, but here you have your overview, and we are starting in the creation mode that I will detail on the other video that will guide you step by step to create your first character. A thing to note here in the upper right corner, you will see that it's in no API mode. You will see later that the sheet looks a bit different when the API is enabled. So I'll go out. Well, I'll go out and I show you now this first game that I created as a no API. I will go and now convert it into I have a pro account now. I will convert it into an API game. First thing I'll do, because the API is using the token markers, I'll add to the game the token marker set I bought from the marketplace. And in order to not have too much markers, I will remove the default ones. I'll now go also on the mod API script. It starts for as an error, but I don't have any scripts anyway. And I'll go with Earthdawn by FASA, and I'll add the Earthdawn by FASA API. And now this is set in the game. If I go now in my game, Earthdawn demo, if I go in, oh, there's a parameter I forgot to show you. One thing that is useful, the API is supposed to detect automatically, the sheet is supposed to detect automatically that the API is running. It helps it if here in the settings I showed you earlier, you set it in API so that any new character knows that he has to look for the API. So this is now set. I can launch the game. And if I create now a new character, you see sometimes it doesn't detect the API. So you will have this warning message. It can be that it doesn't detect the API because you stopped using it. And so in this case, you could forget the API. But if it's just that it didn't connect properly, you just make reconnect. And you see now the sheet has a small API on a different border. This is a sign that your API is up and running. And now you have your character sheet ready to use. A last thing that you want as a GM is that if you look here when you started, the API sent you a few messages telling you this is the first time that you run the API, go and look the wiki, and we have created macros. And these macros are a certain number of functions that you can find here that are pretty useful for a DM. The duration tracker will allow you to track the duration of some effects or spells inside the initiative tracker. Init will allow you to run init for the initiative for various tokens that are on the map. Reset characters will allow you to select tokens and remove all the modifiers or all the damage on it so that you can go to your next combat. NPC reinit for a GM will allow you to roll the initiative again, clear the initiative and re-roll for all the NPCs before you ask your players to roll. And you have here roll, GM, player, or public. These are macros I can demonstrate now where you could roll a secret step 15 with no bonus, with no particular reason, and it will roll you here for no reason. I rolled a step 15, and this is the result I got. So your game is now all set, and from here, the next step for you is as a GM to set the usual of roll20, maps, and so on, and then for your players to create your characters, and that will be the subject of the next video. Thank you very much. Have a very nice day, everyone.